following story is based on real events from my point of view. Due to self-incrimination and privacy, 98% of the names been changed and pictures been blurred, and I do not own the rights to the instrumentals playing in the background. Chapter 15, Finding Myself. So yeah, it's 2010, and around this time I got long hair, a six-pack forming, a lot of new clothes, and stacks of money. But my money started running low because I didn't have a job, and I was just splurging out there in Atlanta. So about this time, I've been in Atlanta about 5-6 months, and I was getting real cocky and arrogant. So me and Duke decided that our problems in South Carolina shouldn't be an issue anymore since all those months passed. So we decided to go stun on everybody at the beach. And since Ryan Rail was locked up, me and Duke was on our own on this trip. And at this time, I had about just enough money to get there, get a room, and get back home. But I was so anxious to go that I risked being broke. So off I went, and it felt good being back in South Carolina after all these months. I drove my tricked out Scarface whip equipped with a 15-inch speaker in it. As we rode down the strip in Myrtle Beach in the Scarface whip, we was getting a lot of attention from everybody out there because my speakers was bumping. A lot of people was out there taking pictures of my car and taking pictures beside my car, and it was cool with me. I told them, go ahead, you want to take a picture with the car, go ahead. That shit felt good. It's like everybody was out there having a good time, and this was the greatest feeling in the world. I parked my car on the side of a hotel and was hollering at all the shorties walking past our hotel. We was in a perfect spot because the parking lot was right there on the strip, so I could just lean on my car and everybody walking past could see me just leaning up on my car. And I'm right here in front of my hotel room. We was at the hotel that was right next door to the Red Hot shop, and that hotel no longer exists no more. It's right across from the Diplomat Hotel, the spot we was at, but it's no longer there. So I had all the elements to get all the shorties. So I would just lean on my car and telling them, yo, come here. And they was coming. It was that easy. The lady, the manager at the hotel, she was hating on me though, because she saw me bag one shorty, and she was watching me the whole time, watching me hollering at chicks, which was crazy and kind of weird. But anyway, after I hollered at this one shorty in front of her, I got the shorty number and the shorty left, and another one came. And the manager will walk up to me and say, dang, she looked better than the other girl you had. I'm looking like, what? That shit crazy. Even though I bagged a lot of shorties, we had a lot of shorties front too, because around this time, women more interested in money than they was appearance. So this one dude, this OG pulled up to us and was like, yo, y'all bagging all the shorties. I see y'all little homies. He said, I could bag as much shorty as y'all too, because I got this money, watch this. So he pulled out a wad of money and was waving it, telling all the girls to come in, and they all was coming. That shit crazy. It ain't matter how a motherfucker look nowadays. It's about how much money you got, and I learned it that day. So as me and Duke ended up walking down the street, a bus full of shorties rolled past, and they started screaming and waving at us like we were celebrities. And I had this one chick walking on the strip just come to me, start licking on my chest, like this shit was crazy out here. I know they had Freaknik back in the day, but Black Bike Week in my era was crazy. Man, the way I was pulling shorties out here was crazy. I felt like a celebrity. Honestly, I finally found myself. I found the image that I wanted. I became that person that I always wanted to be. So as me and Duke walking down the strip, he ran into this dude named Ike that he knew from Columbia. And Ike was out there with a bunch of niggas. They was deep. They was like 8 deep. And they all had tricked out cars. So we started hanging with them. When they was driving down the strip in the assembly line, we got right behind them, bagging all the shorties. And they had a better hotel room than us. They had one of those suites at the Ocean View Hotel, and we chilled with them, drunk. We got drunk as fuck. They had bottles, bitches, they had all that at their room. And these niggas was wild. They had this one chick, I think he was an African nigga with them named Sam. That nigga was crazy. He was like, man, I'm ready to fight and get pussy, let's go. They was like, yo, we about to go walk down the strip. I told them that. I said, well, yo, let me go take a shower real quick, and then I'll change my clothes and come back and we all walk down the strip. So I went to the room, took a shower, and as I'm coming out the room, I run into my fucking ops, yo. I see all 4 of my worst enemies together. I seen Brick, Ted, Reg, and Figs. As I'm walking, I stop dead in my tracks. They looking at me, I'm looking at them. And the last conversation I had with Brick was, it's on site. He said it's on site, I said it's on site. So now we see each other. So I'm like, shit, what the fuck about to jump off? And they deep right now, it's 4 of them, and I'm walking by myself. But I know if I make it to where Duke and I'm at, it's old for these niggas. So it's bike week, I'm living a good life. I don't wanna spoil that shit by fighting these motherfuckers. So I just mean mug them while they mean mug me, and I walk past them. As I walk past, I look back and they all laughing, but they ain't do nothing, and I ain't do nothing. So when I make it back to Duke and his homeboys, I told them what happened. And Sam was like, what? Hey, yo, let's go fuck those niggas up. And all the niggas that I'm with is way older than me and the niggas I'm beefing with. And these niggas look like bodybuilders, so we was gonna demolish them if we got to a fight with them. So we all left their room and we walking down the strip. So now we like 10 deep. Everybody got their shirt off, everybody ready to fight. We deep as fuck. Sam was like, yo, where they at? Point them out. So as we approaching them, I see them and they looking like they scared. But I was thinking, you know what? They just let me slide, so I'ma let them slide. Cause they could've easily just fucked me up. Cause I was by myself. I got caught lacking, I ain't had no gun on me, none of that. So I told Sam, I don't see them. Duke was like, that's them right there, right? I was like, nah, let's go. So we walked right past them and they looked like they was scared, but they let me slide, so I let them slide, and that was it. We walked right past them and started hollering at shorties, and that's crazy. It was crazy because as we walking past them, one of the females that was out there was like, here come the Black Spartans, and that got everybody's attention out there. For the first time, I outnumbered my enemies, and I caught them outside of enemy lines. But I was more focused on getting women, so that's what I started doing. I started walking down the strip hollering at all the shorties. Man, I was drunk as hell, man. I had a belt of condoms. Like, I had so much condoms, I wrapped it around my waist like a belt. And then I was trying to look like Luke Dogg from that Wayne Brothers movie, Don't Be a Menace. So I had the condom wrapped up in my braids and shit. I was just out there looking crazy, yo. And I was getting all the shorties' attention. So I had a group of shorties approach me and Duke. And I was like, yo, what's good? She was like, let me get one of your condoms. I said, oh, you gonna help me get rid of these? You gonna let me use it on you? And the homegirl got mad and was like, yo, you mad disrespectful. I said, what the fuck you mean? She asked me for one. You think I'm out here to just supply people with rubbers? I was like, you got me fucked up. So if she want one of these condoms, we gonna use it. I'm not gonna give y'all condoms so y'all can fuck one of these niggas. You must be stupid. So this shorty, she cop blocking that on all the homies, cause all her homegirls wanted us, but she wanna argue with me. So I'm like, yo, y'all out here with some niggas, like, where your niggas at? I don't fight women, so get your nigga, your boyfriend, your uncle's cousin, get whoever, cause I ain't gonna go back and forth with no female. If y'all want problems, then I'll beat the shit out of one of your niggas right now. And the homegirl holding her back, I'm like, yeah, y'all know what time it is. So while all that shit happened, it started raining, so we went back to our room. So because it's raining, we sitting on the balcony and we hollering at all the shorties walking past in the rain. So while those group of shorties that I seen that was arguing with us walked past and sitting in front of our hotel get soaked in the rain, and the one that I tried to holler at, that one that I was talking to, not the one who was getting aggressive, but the one I was talking to about the condoms, she was looking like she was sad and wanted to come to our room, but a homegirl fucked it up by running her mouth. So now they gotta sit out there in the rain. They could've came and chilled with us. But anyway, the weather, like the rain and me being out there and all that shit, it started fucking with my body, and it felt like I caught the flu. So I went and laid down and I was like, yo, I'm gonna call it a night. So in the middle of the night, I woke up and I looked over and I see Duke got a female in doggy style just breaking her off. And he was like, oh, you up now? So he jumped off of her and told homegirls to come in. So I wake up, I'm surrounded by like 3 or 4 shorties and they sitting on my bed. And I was so fucked up, I was like, nah, I'm good. And Duke was like, y'all leave him alone, he ain't feeling good. So they ended up going back outside and he ended up going the second round with the shorty he had. That shit was crazy. How the fuck I go to bike week and end up getting the flu? So the year 2010, I bagged all these shorties but didn't mess with nobody because I caught the flu. So the next morning, it was time for us to dip. And as I'm checking out, I see my suit and Sticks. I'm like, oh shit, what up? They was like, what up? They just got there and they were telling us to link up with them and chill with them. But I'm like, shit, we on our way back to Atlanta, man. That's where I stay at now. I don't even stay in South Carolina no more. So on the way back to Atlanta, my phone steady going off. All the shorties I bagged out there, now they want to hit me up when I'm on the That's how it was every time I went to South Carolina. When I'm going, everybody hit me up, but when I'm there, nobody want to communicate with me. So once we got to Atlanta, I started feeling better, and I'm back to being cocky as fuck. So I'm like, yo, let's bag some shorties around here. So we decided to walk to the pool. So we walked to the pool in our apartment complex, see many shorties was out there. And we got to the pool area, it was a lot of people out there. But one of the shorties out there, she stood out. It was this pretty little Puerto Rican chick out there named Nelly. She caught my attention, yo. So I just walked up to her, sat beside her on one of those beach chairs that was around the pool, and I just started talking to her. She was like, "You the one that drive that Scarface car, right?" And I was like, "Yep." She said, "Yeah, I was riding with my homegirls a few days ago, and we seen you walking with your shirt off," and I was like, "Damn." She said the homegirl that was driving was saying how I'm sexy and she gonna holler at me. And I'm like, "But what about you? How you feel about me?" She was like, "I feel the same way." So I was like, "What's up?" I'm just looking at her eyes, smiling at her. I'm like, "Yo, you mad sexy, yo." Then we ended up getting to some deep conversations. I found out that she was older than me and she was pregnant with 2 kids already, but I still wanted her. You couldn't even tell she was pregnant. She wasn't shown yet. She was a dime piece to me, yo. She had a perfect skinny body with perfect, smooth, pretty face. And she wasn't with the guy that she was pregnant by, so I decided to try to get serious with her. Shorty looked like a mix between Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Julia Roberts, all in one. So after 2 weeks of talking to her, we kind of became serious. And at this time, I got a job because I was like, shit, I gotta get back on my feet, man. I can't hustle in Atlanta, I gotta work. So I was working. So everything was going good, man. I found myself. I was back working. I had a car I wanted, the shorty I wanted. Everything was good. At least everything was good on my part. Duke just found out that he had a baby on the way, and he was talking about going back to South Carolina because shit wasn't going for him in Georgia. I'm like, yeah, you should have been went back, man. Your baby about to be born. Like, go back to South Carolina. So Duke ended up leaving. I ended up working, and things was going good for me in Atlanta.
2010, we was deep. We looked like the Black Spartans walking down the street. We was stunting on foot and stunting in whips. We was in the assembly line cruising down the strip. Bitch was hollering at me. I didn't have to speak. Man, I used to love Black Bike Week.